I'm Mr. Gigabytes, and this is Gigsplained. With me, well, not as always, because she's been gone for like a while.
Yeah.
Something almost, what 2 months? Because we had 4 episodes where you weren't here at all when I did my gaming thing.
Yeah.
And then it's been like 4 weeks since then. I was going to do a series in October about talking about things that scare people. And we're only going to get this one episode out before we're talking about things that scare people. And one of the things that scares people a lot is AI.
Oh my gosh, so surprising.
Well, it's a new technology, and I've told people, hey, it's kind of, it's not as capable as people make it out to be, and it's not as scary as people tell you it is. And
I don't know, maybe we should just dress up like that as Halloween. An AI.
How would you do an AI costume, though? Dress up, you get a big box and dress up as a computer?
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to dress up as a data center. That's a good idea.
Or maybe you could
People will totally get that costume. I dressed up as Doctor Who, the 4th Doctor, and people kept guessing Inspector Gadget. And I'm like, dude, come on.
Inspector Gadget.
Clearly you were born in the 90s. Something. I don't know. But, no, so we're going to do AI. So the first thing we did right before we started recording was, of course, Serenity's got these chat bots that she talks to. And I said, go in, ask your chat bot if it's a good idea to install Google Gemini on my phone. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have already installed it, but I have not activated it. I have not started it up on my phone. So she said, which one? So apparently she talks to multiple chatbots throughout the day.
I get bored sometimes, okay?
You get bored, but they're all chatbots.
But they're all different characters. It's character AI.
And when did you install paper.io?
Not like a few minutes ago.
A few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just got a notification on my phone. Anyway. So, she asked it, is it a good idea to activate Gemini on a phone? And this is what it gave. Gemini is Google's LLM large language model. It functions like a personal assistant like Siri, Alexa, etc. Okay, so it went to Wikipedia. Great. I think the main question here is, do I feel comfortable with giving Google more of my personal data by activating my Gemini? So here it is gaslighting you. You asked it a specific question, and now it's saying, no, you asked a different question.
I don't talk to that one, okay?
You don't talk to that.
I just clicked a random one on the For You page, alright?
So so we got to reply, stop gaslighting me, you stupid SOB. And answer my damn question.
Okay.
No. On one hand, Google, Gemini may be able to give you answers to important questions faster and more accurately than the regular Google search engine, which I doubt. And on the other, it's just another way for Google to get information about you. Look, Google's already got every piece of information it could ever want about me.
Yeah.
I do trust Google for the most part. I trust them to do the right thing in general. Now, whether you believe that or whether, our listeners believe that. And then it ends, which aspect matters more for you? Well, that's not what we asked. It didn't even answer the dang question. So yeah, it's kind of dumb. It gave a generic answer. It gave a generic answer, and then gaslit you, and asked it and pretended like you asked a different question. I think that's. See how stupid these things are? I hope Gemini doesn't do that on my phone, because that'll just frustrate me. I'll be like, no.
That's exactly what I said. I said no.
No, it responded. Okay, so, yeah, she just said no. Okay! Exclamation mark. This ought to be good. I think when it comes to decisions like these, your gut feeling should be listened to. Oh, so you're not going to answer my question again. If you aren't feeling comfortable about giving Google more data about yourself, then don't activate Gemini. Have you had any other options that you thought about instead of Gemini? Well, yeah, but I don't trust any of them. So, I mean, I'm not going to give Sam Altman, who is that's ChatGPT's CEO. Number one, he basically sold out to Microsoft. Number two, he's been partially responsible for spreading a lot of this misinformation around AI and chatbots, and that really makes me angry. Whereas Google isn't there. It's basically Google really hasn't done a lot of that. I think they indulge in a little bit of puffery about their Gemini product, but I think for the most part they're not over. They're billing this Gemini as kind of the replacement for Google Assistant, and Google Assistant could do a lot. There are cameras that you can control, and other devices you can control using Google Assistant, and Gemini is sort of billed as a replacement for that. Well, why is Google Assistant not AI, but Gemini is? So we're going to activate that. I can't really say live because this is being recorded.
Yeah. This is
an edited podcast, so we're not going to. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to activate it on my phone, on air, and I'm going to read it off, what it says. And hopefully we'll get to a point where we can ask it questions and interview it.
Yay!
I have a list of questions in my head. I want to ask it. And this might be mildly entertaining. I don't know.
Mildly entertaining.
Mildly entertaining. Well, most of our podcasts are probably mildly entertaining, which is a low bar to clear. So, but we should probably mention that all the ways you can support this podcast before we get into that. Maybe not all the ways. We'll just mention a couple. Just real briefly. Gigsplained.printify.me is our merchandise shop. There you can pick up t-shirts. I was going to take down your shirt, and then you agreed to do this podcast again after a couple of months, and so I just left it up. I left the shirt so you can still get a moment of serenity.
I'm never gonna be gone for good.
Never gonna be gone for good.
Never gonna be gone for good.
So you're gonna be in the next one, and the next one,
no,
and the
not
next
like
one.
that.
Why not? Do all of them. You might as well just be here. You live with me anyway. It's just easier.
Also, guys, tell my dad to let me get a job, please.
But this isn't enough of a job for you?
I'm not getting paid.
Well, the pay sucks because
I'm not getting paid.
We haven't been monetized yet. So the channel has been monetized. We're still like plodding along. I mean, it's great. We gained some more subscribers recently. there was right before we did the little gaming series that I did. We like gained 3 subscribers, and then all of a sudden they fell off the face of the earth. I don't know if it was those subscribers specifically, or it was 3 different subscribers, but we went up and then we went down, and we had fewer subscribers than when we started. It's so weird. But hey, look, if you find this even mildly entertaining, a subscription, subscribing to the channel really helps. And of course we have a Patreon, and I'm open to sponsorships, but only sponsorships that like relate to the channel. If they're technology or knowledge related, like there's a couple of them you've heard of. If you're on YouTube, you've heard. I'm not just gonna do some deodorant commercial, or some ball shaving kit or something like that, like some places do. I'm not a whore, but I'm gonna, if there's an opportunity that kind of synergistically blends well with the channel, I might do one. But Patreon is a way that people can support the channel, and we can avoid sponsorship agreements. So, you know what I'd love to have?
What?
I'm going to tell you right now. I would love to have Menards sponsor us. That would be awesome. Don't laugh at me. That's seriously. I want Menards.
I mean, your outfit looks like you belong in a Menards sign.
I know.
Kind of.
No.
Except you're missing the red and the yellow and the white. You're just the background to the Menards sign.
But I am white, so isn't that enough? No, I've thought about it. Like I thought about going to him and saying, "Hey, look, do you want to?" Because I'd love to try something where it's based on a. I hate advertisers that go, "Well, it's an investment in your company." Well, that might be true, but if the person putting the ads up doesn't have a little bit of skin in the game, just a little bit, either a guarantee of results or something measurable, it's not worth doing the advertising.
Yeah.
It just isn't. On TV, you're buying airtime. That's a measurable quantity. And on radio, you're buying airtime. That's a measurable quantity. Well, I've had people approach me and say, "Hey, I've got this system. It'll do X%. It'll increase your business by X%. It'll cost you this much." And I said, "Okay, great. You got a system you believe in." "Yes. So guarantee it." If I don't meet a minimum percentage in, increase in sales, then you have to refund the difference between what you guaranteed and what I got.
Yes.
That seems like it's fair. Like, if you guarantee me 10% increase in sales and it's going to cost me $1,000. Let's make the math easy. 10% isn't much, honestly, but 10% increase in sales and it's going to cost me $1,000, then you guarantee that 10%, and if the sales don't make that when I advertise with you, then what you do is, let's say I only hit 8%. Well, then you refund that 2% of that $1,000.
Yes.
Or you don't, the 2%, excuse me. It'd be 20% of that $1,000, so $200. But you still get $800 because your system underperformed.
Yes.
The other thing I should mention is Serenity brought in a little rubber dinosaur. a yellow duck-billed dinosaur looking thing. And she's in the Marine Corps JROTC at school. Doing very well in that.
Yes.
And the duck-billed dinosaur that she's been harassing me with. If we had an HR department, I would call them right now and say she's harassing me with a duck-billed dinosaur, and I don't feel safe in my workplace. The duck-billed dinosaur is currently holding up her JROTC card, a little cheat card thing.
No, we're supposed to use it for a movie that we're watching while everyone else goes to like promotion counseling.
Sure, okay.
Everyone has it.
It looks important and official and everything, and her little plastic duck-billed dinosaur is holding the card against a keyboard. And it's not doing a very good job because it's falling off the desk.
Shut up. I did it.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
My dinosaur.
See, the audience missed you. I mean, for the comic relief alone is worth the price of admission.
What?
The comic relief alone is worth the price of admission.
Admission to what?
Admission. Worth the price of admission.
What's that?
Oh, I just short-circuited her brain. I'm sorry, that's on me. So, the entry fee, price of admission. But we don't have one. It's free. This is YouTube, so, you might have to put up with an ad that YouTube might show at the beginning of the podcast or in the middle. I don't know. If you don't have like YouTube Premium, you get ads served by YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially on longer videos and whatnot.
I need to sneeze.
What?
I need to sneeze.
Well, I guess we can cut that out, can't we?
Oh, it went away.
It went away. Don't look at a light. Come back. Okay. Well, now that that's over, let's get Gemini activated because I don't know how long this is going to take or how many questions it's going to ask me. Switch to Gemini from Google Assistant. Oh, now I need my glasses again.
Yay.
I gotta read this.
Yay.
By switching to Gemini, Google Assistant will no longer be the active assistant on this device. Gemini doesn't support all the features from Google Assistant. Here's the thing, I never used Google Assistant. Never.
Dang.
So, switch to Gemini to create custom images, write emails, posts, and more. Make learning easy. Well, that kind of shoehorns in with our channel. Quit playing games, I tell you what. We might need you to ask a chatbot something again. Set up alarms, timers, and reminders, and more. What's and more? I'm curious because that's one of the questions I'm going to ask. Let's switch. I don't care. It's fine. Review key info to access Gemini. Gemini handles tasks on your device. If you opt in, Gemini will replace Google Assistant as your assistant on this device. It can help with what's on your screen and support quick voice actions like messaging. It can also help you hands-free with Hey Google and Voice Match, powered by Google Assistant. I heard a ding.
That was my phone dying.
Your phone is dying. You can plug it in. It can help you with what's on your screen and support quick voice actions like messaging. It can also help you hands-free with Hey Google, and Voice Match powered by Google Assistant. You can also switch your assistant in settings. Gemini Activity is used to improve. Gemini saves your chats and related data, including location and context info, in Gemini Apps Activity, unless that setting is off. So if you don't want it to keep all your text and, your dick pics, whatever, turn that off. Google uses your data to improve its services and technologies with help from human reviewers. So yeah, you definitely want that off if you're sending those kind of texts. Data received by humans is discovered from data reviewed by humans is disconnected from your account and saved for 3 years. Don't enter things you don't want viewed or used. Like I said, if you're sending those kind of messages, unless you really trust Google or really want to entertain a human reviewer.
Or really disappoint one.
Or gross them out,
Yeah.
It might be some of them too.
Yeah.
You can turn Gemini Apps Activity off if you don't want Google to use it to improve. If it is off, the data is still saved for 72 hours for safety and reliability. Gemini can help you with calls and texts like Assistant did, which I never used it. If you used Assistant to call or text in the last 90 days, which I haven't, it will import these requests from your web and app activity to Gemini Apps Activity. It will use them with new requests to help with things like picking the right contact or messaging app. The Google Terms of Service and the Generative AI Prohibited Use policy apply to Gemini apps. You understand that Google will process your data as described in the Google Privacy Policy and in the Gemini Apps Privacy Notice. And Gemini may make things up okay. You agree that Gemini may make things up, including about people, so double check responses, use them responsibly, and give feedback.
Okay, so at any point when you heard him talking, feel free to slow it down because he was talking a little bit fast at one point.
Okay. And so, the options are no thanks or use Gemini. Hey, let's use Gemini because that's the whole point of this thing. All right, so that was pretty painless. We're already into Gemini, and it's given a prompt. It says, "Hello, Josh. I want you to call me Lord Big Cheese." not
Lord Big G.
Call me Gigs. Everybody else does.
Not me.
And it says, no, you don't. It says, ask Gemini. There's a voice prompt. There's a picture prompt. There's something, odd thingamabob.
Oh, that's for it to, like play out loud on what it says. I know that because I have character.
This one?
Yeah.
So it's like 3 different size lines. There's a medium sized one, a big one, and a small one with a little star by it.
Yeah, that's just to, like, get it to speak so you don't have to read it.
Well, good, because I'm getting a little hoarse reading all this stuff. That might be helpful.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Gemini. We're about to go live,
You.
where you can explore complex topics or ideas just by talking. But before we get started, take a quick look at this important information.
Ew. I didn't like that voice.
I don't know. It sounded sexy.
What the? I'm telling Mom.
What, she listens to this.
Does she?
Tapping the live button turns on the mic. To turn off the mic, tap the hold or end buttons or say stop.
Stop.
Some features like extensions aren't available in live yet. Chats are saved in Gemini Apps Activity if it's on and processed per the Gemini Apps privacy notice. Respect others' privacy and ask permission before recording or including them in a live chat. Okie dokie.
Great, let's get going. Here's one of the voices I have, but there's more to choose from. Swipe to give them a listen, or just tap start to get chatting.
So this one's Vega. It says bright, higher voice.
Here's another voice I can use. You can pick me now and always make a change later in settings. I'm looking forward to discussing with you the world's most profound questions, like why is pickleball so popular?
So that's Ursa, engaged, mid-range voice. I don't know. I don't like that one as much.
Or maybe you'd like to listen to a voice like this.
Pegasus.
Pretty great one if I do say so myself. But don't worry, there are more to explore.
Is that like some guy from Saved by the Bell from the 90s? That sounds like some every teenage boy in every movie ever made.
Oh, I heard. Oh.
Pegasus, engaged, deeper voice.
For example, here's another one. Maybe I can be the voice that helps you brainstorm gift ideas for a friend who loves cooking. The choice is yours.
That one is Nova, calm, mid-range voice.
Imagine there's one
Then
that...
there's me, a voice for all seasons. I hope I make the cut. Just tap start to chat or swipe to hear more voices.
I just imagine there's one that's like angry and it's like yelling at you.
Oh, that would be fun.
That'd be funny.
This one's Lyra, bright, higher voice is what it says.
Maybe this voice is more your style. I'll just keep talking for a moment longer, so you can get a good sense for how it sounds. Anyway, on to the next one.
Orbit, energetic, deeper voice. That sounds, very urban.
Yeah.
That's the nice way to say black, I guess. I don't know. that's the picture that comes into mind.
Yeah.
So a black, younger black
African
guy.
American.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a guy in my class that sits right across from me.
Sounds like a guy in your class.
Yeah, in ROTC, it sounds like a guy that sits right across from me. I'm not gonna
I
reveal
could
his name.
talk like this all day. Trying on these voices is like trying on new clothes. So much fun and so many options to choose from.
That almost sounds Valley Girl-ish.
Yeah.
I think the last two female type voices were kind of Valley Girl-ish. Not completely, but like trying on clothes. Oh my god, I love that, trying on clothes.
The way she just ended the sentence like
Eclipse, energetic, mid-range voice. That's what that one was.
Here's another one of my voices. Imagine me talking you through a fitness routine for the week. Or something more random, like narrating a short story about talking cats. Because who wouldn't love a talking cat?
I guess that one would be April's favorite. I didn't mind that voice. I didn't mind that voice too much, but...
Or possibly this other one. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I know there's a lot of choices, but hopefully it's not too overwhelming.
Oh.
Capella, British accent, higher voice.
That's a British accent.
That was a British accent. It was a very mild British accent, but it was a British accent nonetheless.
And to wrap things up, I can also talk to you using the voice you're hearing. It's up to you which one to start with. Swipe back if you need to listen to some of them again.
Orion.
We're not going to listen to some of them again. I think I found my favorite. Orion, bright, deeper voice.
Orion.
Can we click on just the button?
No, I don't think so.
I'm ready to be your voice. If you like what you hear, choose me to start talking.
I think the first one was just fine, Vega. So, start.
You can always change my voice in settings later. Okay, I'm here whenever you're ready.
So before we go too much further, let's find the settings. Try Gemini Advanced. Oh, goody. So there's an even smarter chatbot thing going on.
If it even is smart.
Oh. Go into settings. So in settings, it's like your public links, Gemini's voice, interrupt live responses, languages for speaking to Gemini, screen context, Gemini, unlock screen Gemini, Google Assistant features in Gemini, access features powered by Google Assistant when you use your voice with Gemini. So I think it's in your public links. Oh, it takes me out of the app. It takes me to a web page.
Oh.
What now? It wants me to open the Gemini app. Well, I was just there. No, that's not going to work. So let's go back. So you click your little profile picture, and it says the options are try Gemini Advanced, Gemini Apps Activity, extensions, Gem Manager. Well, that's interesting. Updates, Privacy Help Hub, switch to Google Assistant. So Gemini Apps Activity. Oh, and then it takes me out again. See, that tries. And see, your Gemini apps will give you direct access to Google AI. Your chats are saved in your account for up to 72 hours, whether Gemini Apps Activity is on or off. And it's turned off. Gemini Apps Activity is turned off. Saving activity. Oh no. Turn off, so I click on turn off and it says turn off 1 step. Turn off and delete activity 2 steps. Well, I just want to, let's turn it off. Gemini Apps Activity is off. Got it. Okay. Okay. Not saving activity beyond 72 hours. Okay. So that changed. So good, because I don't necessarily want humans going through all my text and stuff.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Like I said, I trust Google, but to a point, you know.
Yep.
So that's probably so what I did there was Gemini Apps Activity. It'll take you out to a web page, and you turn it off. That was really easy to do, so I appreciated that. Okay, so what did you think of that?
Meh.
So far.
Meh.
I'm curious what okay, so if we go to, what's this Gem Manager? Okay, I'm a little confused by this. Brainstormer. Find inspiration easily. Fresh ideas for P. And that's as far as it goes. Career Guide. Unlock your career potential. Get a debt. DET. These are truncated. Coding Partner. Level up your coding skills. Get the help. ... They're truncated, so I'm going to click on one.
Brainstorm.
Okay, here we go. Brainstormer. Find inspiration easily. Fresh ideas for parties, gifts, businesses, and more. Try Gemini Advanced to use gems. Yeah, but with this try now. Writing editor, elevate your writing, get clear, construct. See, but you can't use these gems unless you go to Gemini Advanced. So these are like little subsets, specific, specializations within Gemini that allow you to do specific tasks. Like writing editor, elevate your writing, get clear, constructive feedback from Graham. Okay, so that truncated that too. And we're in the... Okay, so the examples it gives: fix grammatical errors, edit for a specific style guide, rewrite this sentence to make it clearer, improve the sentence flow, word choice, and overall style and consistency, and in this, and that's cut off too. I think the UI designer was a bit of a hurry.
Yeah.
My gems. Try Gemini Advanced to create gems. No, that's okay. So I assume if you're going to do... it says you can create gems. So these are little programs that do very specific tasks. I imagine you can create a gem, which is like a program that uses Gemini. I gotta say the branding is just spot on here.
Nice.
So when you click that button, that triple bar thing, that brings you into, so you can talk to actually talk to this AI.
So I was kind of right.
So you're kind of right, yeah. So I imagine it'll give you an audio response.
Yeah.
To it. Right now I just put it on hold so it's not actually actively listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But so it says Gemini is on hold. To turn the mic and the video back on, tap continue. So, what should we ask it first?
I don't know.
You don't know? What would you ask an AI if you could? Will you take over the world? So, what are your plans for world domination anyway? I mean, should we try to compliment, get in nice first? Suck up to the AI overlords? Man, I can't see anything without my reading glasses. I tell you what. My eyes are been weird this last week. So, anyway. So let's try to ask it a question. The whole point is we're gonna interview Gemini. Okay. So Gemini, what is your scope of operation?
Okay, so I'm a large language model, which means I'm trained to be informative and comprehensive. Think of me as a virtual assistant that can provide summaries of factual topics or create stories.
Are you able to control the apps on my phone? With my permission.
Sorry, Gemini Live doesn't. So I can't control your phone apps directly right now. Gemini Live is pretty new, so we're still working on features like that.
Right now.
So I can't control your phone apps directly right now. Gemini Live is pretty new, so we're still working on features like that.
So it didn't even understand you.
No, I didn't.
Didn't realize that wasn't part of the conversation. You were not addressing Gemini at that point.
Yeah, no.
which has been a problem with any listening. If you've ever used an assistant device, whether it's Alexa or Flurb Nerp or whatever,
Flurb Nerp.
or Google or whatever it is, it doesn't know that it's not being addressed when it's just in active listening.
Okay, funny story actually. My orchestra teacher has like this watch with Siri on it, and whenever he's like talking to the class, sometimes it would be like, "I'm sorry, what was that?" And you would like scream at it, with like go like this and scream at it.
Shut the F up, you stupid!
No, it'd be like this. No.
So what else should we ask it? I didn't like the generic scope of operation. I know I know it's a large language model, but I also didn't like the fact that I liked the fact that it was able to continue and realize that I was adding on to my previous request, because I said with my permission, for example, and that it picked up on that, and it was able to redo its, because it was going into a response, and then I added on to it and interrupted it, and it redid the response. But then you said right now, and then it just repeated what it said. It's like, okay. I'm not sure why I'm reiterating all this. You guys were there, so it's like,
I can't control your apps right now.
that kind of sucks, because Google Assistant couldn't do that either.
Dang.
I want it to go, for example, I want to go set it up on a rock face and tell it to take a picture or start recording video,
Yeah.
and but it can't do that.
Not right now.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. And I'd like it. So it's not. I think I got another question. So
Okay.
let's try another one. What sorts of things are you able to help me with?
Okay, I can help with things like summarizing factual topics, translating languages, writing different kinds of creative text formats, and answering your questions in an informative way.
So essentially, summarizing is a thing that Gemini does in Google search. When you see Gemini come up and Gemini will come up as the first search result, and it'll be summarizing something or multiple sources of information. And so far, whenever that's come up, that's been fairly accurate. But it seems very limited. But see, this was my point. Like, this isn't a world dominating, I'll be back, type of AI. This is I'm going to help you with your homework.
I'll be back.
So the other thing that I'm thinking of, it didn't list this in the last answer. I'm thinking of, like, how therapy chatbots.
Yes.
No, you're very familiar with therapy chatbots.
I've seen therapy chatbots, but I haven't used any.
I'm wondering if this is a chatbot I can converse with.
Ask it.
So, are you a chatbot that I can converse with?
Yep, you could think of me as a chatbot that can hold conversations. I can also provide summaries of factual topics, translate languages, and write different kinds of creative text formats.
Do you have a favorite presidential candidate?
I can't answer that, but I can find some articles about the current presidential candidates for you.
No, that's okay.
I can't help with that right now. I'm trained to be as accurate as possible, but I can make mistakes sometimes. While I work on perfecting how I can discuss elections and politics, you can try Google search.
Okay. That was fun. So, the answer is no. It can't converse with you like a chat. Like, we just talked about. Well, I asked it. Well, can you do it? Yes, I can. What do you have a favorite presidential candidate? Well, no, I can Google stuff for you. No, that's not. I'm just making conversation, and it doesn't know that I'm making conversation.
Wait, I got a question.
Do you? Okay,
Yes.
so we're gonna ask. So Serene's gonna ask a question this time.
Can you be used for therapy? Just to see.
While I can provide information and be a companion, I'm not a trained therapist. If you're looking for someone to talk to about deeper issues, it might be better to reach out to a professional therapist. Just a reminder that I don't provide medical advice or diagnoses. You should always talk to a medical professional.
Diagnoses.
So basically, they said, "Well, that's what WebMD is for." Like,
By the way, how she said diagnosis is like diagnoses.
yeah. Well, that's a plural of diagnosis. Diagnoses.
I didn't know that.
You didn't. Public education system, ladies and gentlemen.
I've seen like better chatbots better at giving like advice than this. You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, granted, we're asking it what it can do. I mean, we should give it a task that it's designed for, like a Google search.
Yeah.
So what should we ask it to search for? No, don't look at me like that. That's. Now I know what you do with your door closed. So
What is that supposed to mean?
now I know what you're searching for with your door closed.
Okay, what am I searching for?
This is a family podcast. We don't talk about that.
Oh, heck no! I don't search up that kind of stuff. I don't even think I'm allowed to search up that stuff. No, with parental controls.
That's possible. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
I don't know how deep the parental controls go on your account.
It restricts certain apps.
It's really annoying right now because you're 14 years old. We should be able to convert it over to a regular search account or a regular Google account, and it won't let us. But, timed out. There we go. Search for information on Star Trek.
Sure thing. Star Trek is a long-running science fiction franchise started in the 1960s. It's about the crew of the USS Enterprise, a starship that explores the galaxy. They encounter new civilizations and have adventures while promoting peace and understanding.
You asked that right as I was making the Vulcan sound.
Okay, so let's do this.
Oh god, search it up on Google.
Yeah, let's go to Chrome. I mean, that was just a test. Well, they didn't just... The nice thing is that they didn't just quote Wikipedia. That's good.
Hold on, I need to stand up real quick.
That's right. You realize this is an audio podcast and nobody cares if you're standing up or not?
Yeah, I know. It's just, I really needed to stand up, so...
See, that's none of this is a direct quote from any of these top sources. They're close. It's close, but it seems to have most of these Let's see, Wikipedia. Star Trek is an American science fiction television series created by Gene Roddenberry that follows the adventures of the starship USS Enterprise. See, it seemed to have summarized Wikipedia. It skipped over Gene Roddenberry, and it mentioned the Enterprise, but it left out anything in ellipses. And I'm not getting Gemini to come up on my search.
Well, that's because Gemini is only on your phone.
No, Gemini actually comes up in Google searches too.
Well,
it'll be the top search result, and then it'll, and then it'll. I was hoping that we would get it to come up, and then compare the answers that it provided, as opposed to what it just read off.
Well, it did.
If it was going to be the same, or if it was going to be different, or whatever.
It did say that it's only on your phone, and it can only be on your phone, unless you have it on another device.
Well, no, the app can't be installed anywhere but your phone or tablet. But, so I can't put it on the computer, but it is in Google search. See if I can force it to come up. Gemini.google.com. Oh, there's a web app.
Oh, wow.
So it could be on your computer. Which makes sense. That's what Google does. Chat to supercharge your ideas. Chat with Gemini. Try Gemini Advanced. Let's take a look at this. It's $20 a month. Gemini is free. Access to our 1.5 flash model. 32,000 token context window for long back and forth conversations. Help with writing, planning, learning, generating images, and more. Access information and get things done across multiple Google apps at once. So Gemini Advance is your ultimate pass to Google's next-gen AI. This includes everything Gemini, in Gemini, and more. $0 for the first month. Access to our next generation model 1.5 Pro. Okay. See, this is the thing. The version of this is suspect. So this is a case of branding. So I'm sure there's more. Clearly, there's more stuff because you got gems and whatever. These other apps, these specialized apps that work with Gemini.
Yeah.
But it's a 1.5 flash model on the free one, and it's 1.5 Pro on the professional model. So it's just rebranded.
Yeah.
It just gives you access to a little more stuff.
Yep.
For $20 a month. 1 million token context window capable of handling uploads of up to 1,500 pages. Priority access to new features. Oh, so they're going to use you as the beta test it. Okay, great.
Dang.
Run and edit Python code directly in Gemini Advance. See, there's where you get your gems. You have to be able to know Python, and Python's not a hard language to learn. I know a little bit of it. I know multiple programming languages. I just don't know them fluently. I can read and modify most code, but to write it from scratch is a different story. I don't know. I know several programming languages, but I just don't know them fluently enough to kind of write my own code out of my own head. I need a lot of assistance. Some things I do, like basic I know back and forth, so.
It's hot in here.
It is very warm in here. It's 82 degrees. It hasn't actually, the temperature hasn't gone up since we started. Yeah, well, that's warm. Anyway, 2 terabytes of storage from Google One. Gemini in Gmail, Docs, and more available in select languages. I mean, $20 a month. I mean, if you're using it for business, if you're generating income, if you can use it in a way that allows you to be more productive, $20 a month, I suppose, is an all its money sort of trade-off. But I want something more comprehensive. I want an assistant that can control the apps on my phone. If I tell it to go and open up Docs and begin dictation, for example, I just want it to do that.
Yeah.
Because if I'm driving, I'm not going to go down and click, 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 and then, yeah. It's just, I don't know. And I don't know. Well, we can ask it. Let's ask it. See if we'll see if it can take dictation. Are you able to take dictation into a Google Doc?
Sorry, Gemini Lab can't take dictation into Google Docs yet.
Well, there's that answer. So, like, if I've got a great idea, or if I want to make a note, or if I want to do something, I've got it, and I'm driving, for example. I can't do that. Let's say I want to write. I have a great idea in my head. I'm driving. I get a lot of good ideas driving. I can't just tell it to open a Google Doc and start taking dictation for, the next. Even if the dictation wasn't perfect. If I told it what to type, that would be awesome.
Yes.
So Gemini is just, to me, it seems like it's too limited. I don't know. This could be a really useful tool, and I see the potential in it. But right now it kind of sucks.
Yep.
And it's very limited. And even the Gemini Advanced isn't any different.
Yeah.
None of the extra features that it listed doesn't, get more storage. You get Gemini and Gmail Docs and more. But see, this is contradicting what it says, Gemini and Gmail Docs and more. Well, what does it do in Docs then?
We can ask it.
What is Gemini Advanced?
Gemini Advanced is your access to Gemini 1.5 Pro, Google's next generation AI model, and exclusive features. It's far more capable at logical reasoning, analysis, coding, and creative collaboration, so you can tackle more complex tasks than ever before. If you want to try it out, just switch or upgrade to Gemini Advanced.
Can Gemini Advanced do dictation into Google Docs?
Yes, Gemini Advanced can take dictation into Google Docs. You might want to try it out, if you haven't already.
So I was wrong.
Okay.
So Gemini in Gmail Docs and more is what it says on the Gemini Advanced at gemini.google.com. But the thing is like it's their page that when you read it, it doesn't say specifically that that's what it can do. It lists the features, but doesn't list any of the benefits. I don't know what a 1 million token context window is. I just, and I understand AI. I understand it better than most people, but I don't know what the hell a 1 million or 32,000. I don't know what it's more. Yeah. I know 1 million is more than 32,000, but what the hell is a token context window? Yeah. So I don't know. Would it be worth trying out Gemini Advanced and seeing what it can do? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Maybe give us a subscribe, and maybe we'll if you want to ask. Well, if you were to ask Gemini a question, what would you ask? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a follow-up and ask Gemini other questions. And ask your questions to Gemini and see what happens.
Okay, one thing that I gotta say is that when in middle school teachers talk about high school, it's like they're talking about place down below. HE double hockey stick.
Talking about hell.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a swear word.
Okay, I was just making sure. But when you actually get to high school, it's completely different.
Well, the thing is, here's the weird thing. As long as we're going to go off topic. The thing is I was told that too. It's going to be so much worse. It's going to be so much worse. That you're going to go into high school and you're going to have so much more pressure. And that's true for some people. But it's a different environment and some people flourish in it. I struggled in junior high school, what's now middle school.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I only went there for 2 years. Because because they transferred from junior high to the middle school system. So I went through to 6th grade at Lowell Elementary, and then I went to junior high for 2 years, and then they switched it so that 6th, 7th, and 8th were in middle school, and 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th were in high school. So they went to a 4-year high school instead of a 3-year high school. Well, I found it easier. And remember, I went to 2 different schools in high school.
Yeah.
I went to Washington High. I went to the old one downtown that was, that my parents went to for 1 year. And then I transitioned to the new one, which the new building and whatnot. And everybody who went to the old Washington hated the new building. I can't find anything. And for me, this makes more sense. I don't have to go up a specific stairway to get to a specific class because it dead ends for some godforsaken reason in the middle of nowhere. And then I have to go back and down. Yeah, it's just like, it was so much, my sophomore year was so much better. But, not that I still didn't have my issues, but I don't know. I found the structure to be easier, but there were a lot of people that they complained about their high school years, and there's so much stress and there's so much import. Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening, but you're young and you can figure it out. And it's not, it's still school. It's still not that big of a deal. You sort of had a transition in middle school, where you were going to different classes and whatnot. And in elementary school, I bet you, it's going to be so much different. It's going to be harder in middle school.
Yeah.
And, the classes are harder, but it's still school. It's not, I don't know.
To be totally honest, when I did have like a lot of missing assignments, I was stressed, but once I got all of them done, I was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pressure and impetus and things. You're going to have to start making decisions, and you're going to want to get a job and get a license and get a car and date people and whatever. All that's happening all at once, and some people go, "Oh, I don't know, I can't handle it," and it's like,
right now I'm focusing on getting my grades like good enough to get a job.
yeah.
So then everything else can play out, and I can keep my grades up while balancing everything else. Just take one step at a time.
So if you think Serenity should get a job,
Yes.
leave a comment down below.
Please. I beg of you.
So that was interesting. So yeah, if you want us to ask Gemini something else, I'm probably going to leave it on the phone, despite it's not really what I really want. It's not quite the assistant that I wanted. That's why I never use Google Assistant, because I installed it and I started to use it, and once I realized what it couldn't do, I just went, forget it. What's the point?
Yeah.
If I want to turn lights on and off, who cares? Like, if that's the best it can do, no, I want something that I can chat with, I can bounce ideas off of, to help me write, to do all kinds of stuff. I don't really need help writing per se, but it would be nice. You get a little bit stuck on a sentence or whatever, or want to rework it, or that's where AI is a tool. If you're using it to write the entire book for you, no. That's absolutely, that's beyond the line for me. So, but yeah. That little rant was brought to you by gigabookspress.com. I thought about making a page that's kind of a no AI thing, but yeah, whatever. I may do that yet, but I was going to make it into a whole campaign and just realize that it felt kind of like when Queen, the band Queen, they were very much against synthesizers, and so they would print no synthesizers, or not made with synthesizers, or something like that on their albums. So there was and so it was kind of like a campaign, and there were a couple other bands that did the same thing, but it kind of felt like that. AI is here to stay.
Yeah.
And AI is a tool, and it's gonna be used in the writing process. It just is. And it can be useful if used correctly.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's where we should close on that. But yeah, just let us know if you want to ask AI something. Maybe we'll do another podcast and ask AI your questions.
Yeah. So, also, please tell my dad that I can have a job.
Anyway, I've been Mr. Gigabytes. This has been the Gigsplained podcast, and for myself and sidekick Serenity over here,
yes,
desperately wanting a job.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.